What is going on, everybody? It's Nick Payne with another episode of Facemask Fantasy. Before I begin, just want to let everybody know our 2021 Shallow League Redraft draft plan is available on our website. You can go to our page, facemaskpod.com, enter your email address, and you will get a downloadable link to the plan, which is 100% free. We got player breakdowns in there, positional breakdowns by tier, guys I'm targeting, guys I think you should consider fading. Plenty of information for you to go in, attack your draft, come away with a solid foundation in your 10 or 12 team redraft league. Check it out. Now, on to today's topic, as we continue to shift our focus here to the 2021 season and specifically redraft. Identifying some players at their ADP and giving our opinions on whether or not you should consider drafting those players. Up today, Cardinals quarterback and one of the most exciting players in the NFL, Kyler Murray. Last year's quarterback 2 for fantasy, could have finished as the quarterback 1, but suffered a shoulder injury in the second half of the season, which hampered him a bit. Still, finished with almost 4,000 passing yards, 800 rush yards, and 37 total touchdowns. Murray was a stud in 2020, so what can he do for an encore? Well, for starters, Murray gets to throw the ball to a top 5 receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. That's a nice little security blanket for quarterback fantasy production. Arizona also added weapons in the draft and free agency in the form of Rondale Moore and A.J. Green. They also have Christian Kirk as an incumbent, maybe a couple of question marks about Green's age and health, and then also can Kirk break out? He's still pretty young, but still a promising collection of pass catchers in Arizona, obviously headlined by Hopkins. Now, as for Kyler himself, Kyler Murray has said he wants to run less in 2021. He does not want to use his legs as much. He wants that to be a bit of a luxury for the offense. I just don't buy that. Murray's scrambling and escapability are an X factor that most teams, most offenses don't have. Murray being able to run just increases the offense's chances of extending drives and scoring more points. I think he continues to run. Maybe he does so just a little bit more cautiously in 2021, but I don't have any reason to believe that he can't get upwards of 700 rushing yards again in 2021. And I'm sorry, but I'm not exactly a full-fledged believer in Arizona's options in the run game outside of Murray doing it himself. The jury is out on Chase Edmonds and if he can shoulder a larger workload, specifically more carries. That has not happened yet to this point in his career. And does James Conner, kind of like the questions around A.J. Green, does James Conner have anything left in the tank? Yes, the Steelers' offensive line was not great, but James Conner did not instill a ton of confidence on his own. So between Edmonds and Conner, the two of them could combine to be decently productive, but Edmonds is likely going to do it as a pass catcher, which again would benefit Murray, and Murray remains a touchdown vulture for either running back, evidenced by his 11 rushing scores in 2020, which, by the way, if Murray duplicates that, he's the overall quarterback 1 for fantasy. As for one quarterback redraft formats, Murray's going in around the 5th round. I don't have a problem with this, especially if you happen to take DeAndre Hopkins in, say, round 2. It'll be an expensive stack to create, but should be a pretty lethal stack, especially if Murray and Hopkins can link up for more than the 6 touchdowns that they connected on in 2020. That said, in one quarterback leagues, I am more likely to pass on Murray than not. He's grouped together with guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and to a lesser extent Dak Prescott. So depending on my draft position and the players available, I may be okay trying to land either Allen or Jackson if they go after Murray in the draft. Or if all 3 of them are available, I'll probably play the odds, opt for drafting a player at another position, maybe a wide receiver, and see how the quarterback dominoes fall as I get into, say, the 6th round. Now, if I'm at the end of round 5 and Allen and Jackson are gone and Murray's the best quarterback there and I don't love my other options on the board, yeah, I would absolutely. Then in that scenario, I have no problem drafting Kyler. And of course, in 2 quarterback or superflex leagues, Murray is worth consideration as soon as the 1st round. I have Murray as my quarterback 4 going into the season, but again, he has overall quarterback 1 upside because of his rushing ability, which I do not think he's going to scale back on. Again, in one quarterback leagues, the cost might be a little high. If he slides a bit and he's clearly the best quarterback on the board, he's definitely worth consideration, but it is expensive, steep draft capital. In one quarterback leagues, you can fill that later in the draft and prioritize depth at other positions. That would just be my caution for drafting Murray. I think he's going to have a phenomenal season. I just have to call into question the ADP in one quarterback leagues. What do you guys think? Put your thoughts about Kyler Murray and his fantasy outlook for 2021 in the comment section below. We can have a conversation about this. Till then, this is Nick Payne with Facemask Fantasy, producing fantasy content for you each and every day. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening.